Well, payment apps like Venmo are super convenient, but they may be making you very vulnerable to having some private information made public. David Hatter is here with more to explain.
Hi, Rebecca.
Thanks for being here on this Friday.
Always my pleasure.
So there's a little bit potential here for not the best privacy situation by default on Venmo.
Exactly. So Venmo, for people that don't know, because old guys like me, old Doomsday Dave, don't use these things. It's basically a digital application that allows you to exchange money with people. My kids use this all the time, so they go out to eat with someone, they don't have 10 bucks. You know, instead of the old, oh, I'll get you later or whatever, you know, you can easily transfer the money. You can link it to a bank account, a credit card. PayPal owns the company. This is not a new thing. Venmo's been around for a while. The concern has been raised both by the FTC last year and then more recently, the Electronic Frontier Foundation and Mozilla wrote an open letter to the CEO and the CFO of Venmo basically saying your default settings are exposing too much information about users. So one of the things Venmo does, so if you and I go out for lunch and I don't have any money and you buy my lunch and I want to Venmo you this money, it'll show a public transaction of my transfer to you. It won't show the amount, but people can know we were together, they can know where we went for lunch, etc. Now that in and of itself isn't necessarily bad, but a computer science student basically scraped 6 months worth of data out of Venmo to prove the point that it can paint a very detailed picture for people that use this all the time of where you're going, what you're doing, who you're with. And also, because you have a friends list, I can get your friends because they're public by default as well.
So even if your account number of your bank, of the financial institution, is not showing up in this feed, it's other information that not so nice guys or gals can glean and use for nefarious purposes?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Rebecca. In this case, it's not necessarily that there's any threat to your financial information. There's never been an issue with that, and PayPal knows what they're doing in that space. So I wouldn't worry about that. It's the fact that this thing is automatically putting all this information into the public about you. I don't think most people realize that. Now, you can go in and explicitly make your transactions private by default, but you have to do it. The friends list right now, there's no way to change that. That's what EFF and Mozilla are concerned about. That's the primary points they raise in this letter, and they reference this guy's research, because if someone wanted to launch a phishing attack on you, they'd have a lot of information about you. If someone wanted to steal your identity, they could potentially use the information that's exposed out there about you publicly to do that. And their thing is, you know, by default, Venmo should make this stuff private, and it should be on you if you want to make this public to do it, but that's not the way it works.
Are there any other apps, Dave, out there similar to Venmo that you have concerns about?
Well, Facebook, you know, that's a good question, Rebecca. So much of this stuff is geared around your information. You know, you're not the customer, you're the product. If you're not paying with money, you're paying with data. And, you know, everyone should think about the privacy settings. I also want to reiterate that just because you make something, quote, private, doesn't mean it will stay private, because A, it could be hacked, or B, let's say you and I are friends on Facebook. I share something with you, and then you take a screenshot of it and do whatever you want with it. So it's just a good reminder to folks that once something is in digital form, it potentially will never, ever be private again, and you should think about that.
All right. Definitely good things to think about. Thank you, Dave.
Always my pleasure.
We appreciate it. We'll have this interview, of course, on our website, Fox19.com. Well, coming up, Facebook. We're just talking about this.
Good old Facebook.
Wants you to help find love online. What could go wrong, Dave?
What could go wrong? Of course, they're just looking out for your best interest.
Oh, yeah. Plus, a teacher is